What if you could make one decision to unleash everything great in your life? Would you do it? Would you say yes? Aren't you tired of your relationships, your health, and so much more suffering because you lack the truth you need to change? The life you desire is within your reach. You can achieve all the success, happiness, and prosperity you deserve by simply learning the secrets that lead to real personal transformation. Change is hard, but not impossible. You just have to make one radical decision to get real. And there's no better authority on the real steps to change than David G. Evans.
Some men trust in chariots. Some men trust in horses. But we will trust in the Lord.
David G. Evans is leading the charge to bring you the power to change your life. He is committed to the mission of helping you transform and become a person of power, and it starts with his all-new system to change your situation. At the centerpiece of this life-altering collection is David Evans' groundbreaking training course, From Ridiculous to Radical to Real. This means war. In this series, you will discover the steps to change. This series includes 2 powerful messages, each on winning the battle in your mind and cultivating a language of faith. That's 4 messages, 4 power-filled hours of material. If you want a better marriage, this series has the answers. If you want to achieve financial independence God's way, the secrets in this series will empower you to make it happen. If you want a life of power, anointing, and influence, this series will show you how to get it, and there's more. You're looking for serious, immediate results. So Bishop Evans will also include one of his best-selling messages called Weapon of Warfare. This classic teaching will build you up to start fighting in the spirit for what you deserve. This powerhouse collection, From Ridiculous to Radical to Real and Weapon of Warfare, will give you all the biblical strategies you need to change anything in your life. This collection will ship to you immediately with your gift today to David G. Evans Ministries. This ministry is revolutionizing the kingdom by empowering believers. Souls are being saved daily, and we need your help to grow this impact in a real way. Call now and sow your seed of just $35 for your transformation to help people around the world. Your $35 love gift goes straight to the front lines of ministry, providing help to those that need it most. Call now. Make the decision to get the power you need to change your life forever.
Allow God's living waters to wash over you and refresh your soul.
You've been praying for yourself when the answer is in praying for other people. While I'm praying for California, God shows up in my house.
As kingdom people, with the king in us and us being sovereign ground, we're not governed by the laws of this land, but we're governed by the laws of heaven.
He's talking about you going to draw water from the wells of salvation. Where's the well? In you.
If we want to release the water, watch this, we don't have to pray for it to come. Where we are now, we pray for it to be released.
Release deliverance and transformation in every area of your life through God's living waters. This revitalizing 3-message series can be yours on CD or DVD when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today.
Adversaries come in many forms, but you will be victorious when you realize that worship is warfare.
Adversaries are necessary because without them, you never really discover your purpose.
We've accepted what somebody told us we were in our past. So our past is sabotaging our ability to hear instruction.
We are not much unlike a battery. The negative is the thing that's needed to produce the power.
I empowered you to overcome everything you've overcome up to this present moment. I fixed you for what's going to happen after this.
You were in the mind of God long before you were ever born.
You are not alone in your battle. God has your back because worship is warfare. Put these 4 messages in your arsenal today on CD or DVD. Equip yourself by visiting our website or by calling 1-800-591-8480. Isn't it time to stop reliving your past hurts and move on to a bright and hopeful future?
I have a right to be upset, but I don't have a right to be wounded for the rest of my life. So I choose to be healed.
Get rid of the bitter poison that unforgiveness administers to the soul with Bishop David G. Evans. Forgive again, live again.
It's a liberating experience, and being able to forgive someone and forgiving yourself. It's liberating.
Forgiveness will deliver me in 3 dimensions. From what happened, from who it happened with, from when it happened. Because sometimes you'll get free from the what, but the who will still have you bound.
This highly sought-after 4-part message of healing can be yours on CD or DVD. Act now, and we'll include Bishop's book, Healed Without Scars, with your order absolutely free. All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today. It's the catalyst for change you've been waiting on. New Mind, New Me, from Bishop David G. Evans.
I want to be loved. Why do I take the person that loves me and kick them to the curb? I want to be wealthy, but I spend all my money.
You were created and given a slave, a doulos, a servant called your mind. Your mind is out of order when it questions your commands.
If you are ready for true transformation, Bishop David G. Evans would like to bless you with the New Mind, New Me 4-message DVD set. Order today, and you will also receive Bishop Evans' national best-selling book, Healed Without Scars, as well as the Healed Without Scars music CD.
My mind's going where I tell it to go. It'll never go back. It's my mind. It's going to do what I say.
All yours when you visit our website or call 1-800-591-8480 today. Be prepared to watch a new you emerge.
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. Welcome to On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show. In America, we're live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on any smart device at David G. Evans, the #1, at David G. Evans 1. So glad you've joined us today. We hope you will like and subscribe, and please share with all your followers on whatever sites you're watching us on. Invite people to follow us and invite them to join into our conversation as we talk about those things that impact your life: national, international, regional, local, those significant events that impact your life, but we always discuss them from a kingdom or biblical point of view with biblical emphasis, so that you will understand the times in which you live and biblically have wisdom to know exactly what to do. So I want you to invite everyone that you can this morning to join us. Tag some people, however you do it in your social media world. Why don't you invite people to join us in our conversation, as we have callers from around the country, oftentimes calls from around the world, but we have listeners all over, and we'd like you to be one of them. We look forward to your discussion. We don't always have to agree, which is a great thing, but we do have to agree on what the Word of God has to say about whatever we're dealing with at the moment. Joining us once again is our world-famous co-host, Reverend Nicholas Smith. How you doing, man?
Good. Good morning, everybody.
Now, you can call us toll-free at 866-743-8267. That's 866-743-8267. If you like letters, it's 866-74-EVANS. Give us a call. We'd love to talk to you about a variety of things that are happening nationally, internationally, politically, also in the sports world. I see a whole lot of stuff going on. Seems like there's more news about the NBA after the season's over than there is while it's going on. But
keep talking.
Gotta keep something going on.
Yeah.
So, but a lot happening. I see where President Biden vetoes the bill that would have repealed the student loan relief. Supreme Court rules in favor of black voters in Alabama. A lot of people are surprised about that.
Yeah.
But also there are a lot of people that are quite upset about the possibilities of affirmative action being repealed by this same court. But we can talk about that if people want to. Finally, some money has been approved for Jackson, Mississippi water crisis.
Well, you would think after all this time.
It's been a long time. I talked to Emmanuel Mito occasionally, and he's down in Mississippi. And even though they're removed from Jackson about an hour away, they still are privy to the news that happens there. And I can't even remember how long ago the water crisis happened in Jackson.
Yeah, it was,
And I'm not sure that 115 million is enough to fix it.
It's supposed to go towards the overall cost. I think the cost is like almost in the billions, I believe. So the state's kicking the money.
Yeah. They say Texas signed a new law cutting water breaks for construction workers during high temperatures. What sense does that make?
So their claim is that they want to do a statewide, before the municipalities and cities could do their own thing. And they're saying that liberal politics.
What's that got to do with water?
Thank you. So they want to do a statewide thing. But most cities give, after like a couple hours, I didn't notice till researching it. Texas has, well, obviously, the highest deaths due to heat exhaustion in the whole entire
Yes,
country.
in the nation.
Right now, they give them about every 4 hours, like a 10-minute water break.
Every 4 hours?
Yeah. Now, Texas is going through an extreme heat wave now.
Why can't you just drink water when you need it?
I know. Just somewhere common sense should kick in. If it's,
I bet you the governor doesn't work 4 hours without water.
Of course not. No.
I bet you he doesn't go for a walk without water.
No. They blame it on. It's funny how they always love to say big government's bad, except when it's something that they desire.
Absolutely.
Any other time it's state rights. Now it's like, no, cities, we can't let you guys control anything. We'll control it all.
How does that fix with the small government mentality they're supposed to have? They don't have small government mentality.
They don't.
It's only small government mentality when I don't agree with what you're trying to legislate.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, like the abortion thing. I'm not an abortion person, but if y'all believe in states' rights so much, don't make it a federal law. Let the states decide.
Well, now that you brought that up, I've been listening to Republicans talk about being pro-life. And now the horde of candidates that they have, and you've always made the distinction, you said they're not pro-life, they're pro-fetus. Can you tell me why I saw Pence and a few others yesterday, and he's saying there should be national agreement that you can get an abortion up to 15 weeks? I thought they were pro-fetus.
I didn't hear that.
I saw him say it.
Really? Did not know that.
So
they know it's
So I thought that was just dastardly. You're talking about pro-life,
right?
But now you're going to say, everybody should be able to agree. Pence now.
Yeah.
Everybody should be able to agree that after 15 weeks, there should be no abortion. Well, what about, so it's not a baby up to 15 weeks?
Right. Yeah. Yeah. I think they're trying to pull in that, the woman vote too. They're trying to maintain some.
Which means it's really a political issue. They don't give a darn whether the baby lives or dies because they don't have much concern for the child once he's born.
No. Because their people get abortions. I mean, I
was watching. I just happened to have the TV on yesterday. During the time they had press conference, he comes on, and he's doing his campaign thing, and he says this. And I'm looking at the TV like, what?
Yeah.
Last year you were none at all.
None at all. Yep.
So now it's okay. 15 weeks, as long as it's before that, we're good.
Well, it's election time too, so I'm sure they're trying to get.
But
that
you're still saying it.
I know. We know.
But then this is what I want to see happen. My evangelical brothers, how are they going to calculate that?
Yeah.
That is okay up to 15 weeks, but after that, we're saying no.
Yeah. Or they're probably going to say, it's politics. He's like Trump. He's just talking. Another crazy thing. So on that too, they're all, everybody's on that one side is anti-drag show, LGBT, whatever like that, right? And somebody brought up, well, remember that time Trump held up a pride flag and said, gays for Trump? What are y'all saying about that now?
Nothing.
On the campaign trail, Trump did that.
Nothing.
In 2016.
Nothing. It's like yesterday I saw the former president. The guy interviewing him quoted what he said, and he literally said, "I didn't say that."
Yeah.
He said, "Mr. President, this is a recording that you've acknowledged was true in the past. These are the words that you used. I never said that, Mr. President. This is a recording of you." Then he asked him this other crazy question. He says, "How are you going to recapture the white female vote that you lost? How are you going to get them back?" Well, first thing, I didn't lose.
Okay.
I won by a great margin. I didn't lose. Guy said, "That's not true. You're no longer president."
Right.
I didn't lose. It was massive. No, you sued in 50 courts. You lost.
Every single one.
And most of them, the judges, were guys you appointed. Well, Biden did the...
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Let's get back on point here.
Right. I give it to them. They stick to their points.
Yeah, but what about the people that are listening to them?
They're betting on people not caring.
Or collective ignorance.
Or collective
Okay.
ignorance and not caring. Yeah.
Intentional ignorance.
Confirmation bias. I want to believe this so much that
I'll just ignore what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, like they used to always say, we don't take him seriously. We just, what did they always say?
They had a bunch of phrases up for when he was lying. Nobody would say he was lying.
Yeah.
Alternative facts, all that crap.
Yeah.
Oh, God. So Texas bans all diversity, equity, and inclusion offices in public colleges and universities. Yet I'm hearing of young people who are choosing to go to Texas. Now, I need to understand the psychological process where I know they hate me, but I'm going to move there. And in some cases, I'm going to take my family there.
Yeah.
Help me understand that.
It could be financial because it's cheaper to live down there.
But they hate you.
Yeah. Austin's a very liberal city, but it's still in Texas. I know people that live in Austin.
Okay.
A lot very tech.
How liberal is it?
It's liberal. It's liberal for
compared
Texas,
to the rest of the state.
Compared to the rest of them.
Okay,
but a lot of liberal, like LGBT.
That's like Atlanta being Wakanda in Georgia.
That's what it's almost like.
You go outside the city, and it is Georgia like we know it.
That Austin's that.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a lot of tech. My cousin works there. There's a lot of tech stuff there. They make good money, but it's still Texas though. It's still Texas.
Wakanda, after it was discovered, was where they allowed you to live.
Yeah.
Run your business. Keep it there. Don't come out of it.
And they're trying to keep it.
Come on.
Yeah. But yeah, they're trying to knock off anything. It's that white fear they're talking about, where they're afraid of the white replacement thing.
Okay.
That they're buying into.
Because there's a lot of I'm doing this social research, and I've noticed it among our own people, and I mean our church members. I've noticed it among people that I know. Some people, this COVID 3 years have had a profound effect on the way they're processing life. There's this level of anger and hostility that was not created by the COVID pandemic, but may have been exaggerated by the COVID pandemic. People are reacting in ways that are not logical. I'm watching people, you can't ask them a question without some kind of terse response. You know, people are being offended by things that are just minuscule, but it seems to have shifted us from majoring in major things to majoring in everything that's minor. It's almost like people have come to a realization they have nothing left.
Yeah. And they're searching for finding significance in their anger, finding significance in being a victim.
Yes.
That's what this generation
significance in being offended.
Yeah.
So that I feel like a person because I'm offended. I remember years ago when I made this discovery. We were having one of our church gatherings, and I started noticing that for some people the only way they can input in a meeting is to be negative.
Right.
And I watched people that were old enough to be my grandparents who were locked in to this, I can contribute, but the thing I contribute best is what I think is wrong.
Yeah.
And I watch, she's gone to be with the Lord now, I hope, Sister Washington and a few others like that were just always the only way they could input was something that was negative. And then I realized that those seniors that were doing that did not start that when they became seniors. That thing was there a long time.
The whole time. Yep. And that's what brings them a sense of significance.
Yes. But
this.
When your significance is being negative, you're normally not ready for any responses.
Yes. Yep. Because it's about how I feel.
Yeah.
And like you said, hatred and all that stuff feels like strength. I watch I love this new generation coming up, but they get on my nerves too at the same time.
Okay.
They take like one psychology course and all of a sudden they're
psychologists.
They're psychologists.
Or they watch something on TV and now they're experts.
Yeah, they're experts.
And Lord have mercy, how many doctors has YouTube created?
Right.
Come on.
Try to psychoanalyze everything.
Come on, man. And they're not equipped to do it.
Right. And it's like, there's a reason why if you want to be a therapist, a psychologist, they make you go through therapy first. Before you start working on other people.
Yeah, but some of them should have been bailed out when they went through therapy.
I know. Okay. But they feel like because I've been through this, I'm here to help everybody. And
because you're issue laden, doesn't make you an expert in everyone else's life. It just. But I know Christians who absolutely not balanced, who think that qualifies them to help other people.
Yes.
Because what people do in life, Pastor Nick, is we consistently attempt to validate everything in our life based on a strong emotion.
Right.
And that is the worst possible way to validate something. But if I feel it's got to be true, if I'm passionate about it, and if it's coming from a place of offense or rejection or historical rejection, then those opinions are very profound and very strong. And you're the enemy when you don't go along with how I feel.
Right.
Okay.
This generation lacks nuance.
Absolutely.
It's black or white. There's no in between. There is no.
I don't want to blame the generation, though. I know people 40, 50, 60s. You counsel them, I counsel them. Same thing, man. I feel it, so it's got to be true.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's all generations.
Yeah.
It's becoming a little worse.
Now?
Yeah, with this group now. Because there are, especially when it comes to gender and sexuality.
Okay.
It's this, counsel a lot, this rage that you have to.
But why?
To me, it's like, well, if you really. I know people in that community that accept who they are, and they're fine with you not agreeing with them. They just live their life.
Here's my problem.
And move on.
If you are going to live an alternate lifestyle, why do you need my approval?
That's my thing.
I can accept.
Yeah.
But what you don't agree with the fact that I'm heterosexual. Why do I have to? Why is all of it? You're going to have to agree with all of what I agree with. The attempt to convert people to other lifestyles is a disapproval of the lifestyle that person is leading. You need to be in agreement with me. I don't get it.
Rather all just, you want to live that way, let's all just live our lives. It's fine. Cool.
Go to work, come home, be with who you want to be with. But what? I need to be civil, I need to accept, I need to be courteous, I need to be loving. Yeah. But do we have to come into agreement on how you want to live your life? No.
Move on with our lives.
But if you have an opinion about it that's other than what they're stating they want to be, then all of a sudden you're judging. No. You've already judged me.
Yeah. All social media and everything's internet's made all of it worse, more exacerbated.
866-743-8267, 866-743-8267. This is On Point, the #1 Saturday morning Christian-based call-in talk show in America. Live every Saturday morning from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We want you to get on the phone. 2 lines are lit up. We're about to start talking to our guest today. So, this billionaire guy builds this submersible. A bunch of folk get in the submersible and are going down to a depth that only dead ships can live. They pay $250,000 a seat. A guy takes his son with him.
Mm-hmm.
The thing doesn't even get all the way down and it implodes.
Mm-hmm.
The billionaire builder intentionally used materials that were not suited for that kind of depth.
Going to Home Depot and getting like.
I mean, don't brag about the fact you took your Nintendo
Control,
game control and used that in a boat.
Mm-hmm.
And they had some glass thing on the back. One of the nautical guys said, if that exploded, it would be like throwing a hand grenade into. He said, and that thing that he had on the back wasn't built for that kind of depth.
Mm-hmm.
So how do you take your family on that kind of thing?
Because apparently the son didn't want to go, but wanted to please his father.
Trying to bond with his dad.
Man, look.
And was afraid to go according to his aunt.
Look, I love people, but I ain't doing that.
I'll see you when you get back.
Right.
I'll see you when you
but
get back.
If you have to sign a waiver that says you may have to die 3 times on a waiver.
If it's in the document.
It's in the document. You have 3 times you may die on this trip.
I may kill you on this trip, so I need to be, I don't want to be liable.
Scientists don't even know how certain animals can go down to that depth. If a shark and a whale can't go that deep, and the animals that can, they don't understand that. Human beings aren't built to go down.
Well, the animals that can don't look like animals we're accustomed to seeing.
Yeah, we don't even know.
They get distorted by that.
Yeah.
And the only reason we know is when they float up to the top.
We don't know what this. Look.
I just think it was tragic.
It was.
But if they're telling you they're going to kill you,
yes,
why would you go?
Right. All these couple people that from the TV shows were going to do it. They went and they looked at it, all pulled out. One of those like Discovery shows things. Pulled out after they saw how it was made and everything. You got these experts telling you this stuff. I love history. There's a lot of stuff I want to see.
Yeah.
But if it's going to cost me or threaten my life,
I will accept the pictures coming from the robot.
Right.
I'll accept it. I'm not getting in something and going down that far.
And from what my understanding, the way that they saw it, they had that little window, but the majority of their view of the Titanic was from a screen. So if you're going, if I'm going to watch it on a screen, I'm gonna watch it from the screen above ground.
Just on the boat near the site.
Yeah.
Not under the water. And all right, you guys can look at this screen. No, I'm not paying to look through a hole to be able to say.
Right. Ooh, that's it.
Oh man, is that it?
They showed a video of something imploding in the water.
It's tragic.
Yeah, they put like they made this dummy of a human being with pig guts and stuff.
Yeah, man.
It only took it 150 feet down.
Boom.
And watched it.
Boom.
Boom.
And the thing is, for a split second, they probably heard the thing collapsing, and it not time to turn around, not time to react.
They said it was so instantaneous. Just
because that pressure is incredible.
Yeah.
And then you leave your families behind. Just to be able to say I went down there.
Yeah.
But when I heard that the paperwork, I learned this week that just because you have a pile of papers, they're not documents, according to the ex-president. I had papers, I didn't have documents. Okay, so that's yeah. So we just shape stuff like we want to.
Right. I know.
I just find it tragic.
Yeah.
And had the builder been experimenting with people's lives in this boat, because he didn't want to spend the money to build something that could possibly go far enough down safely. He purposely put things in there that weren't going to work.
Yeah. And then you end up dying in your own ship. Because he was down there. I'm like,
was he in there?
He was in there. The CEO of OceanGate was in there with them. And and we went one time before.
Sure, arrogance.
Yeah, it got lost for a couple hours in the past when it went down, and somehow they got it back up. But it's not even tied to anything. There was no GPS down there.
Too expensive.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nah.
A Philadelphia student was banned from his prom and graduation after being shot?
Yeah.
You sure we have that right?
Yeah. So he came out to school. Somebody shot him. They were obviously waiting for him.
Okay.
And the school says, well, the police says, well, he was most likely being targeted.
Okay.
So the school said, you know, you can't participate in any activities just in case.
Okay. I
something
get it.
comes back.
I get that.
Now, they're
I get
saying that he might have been in some stuff, but I mean, we don't know the story unless people tell the truth.
So they didn't kill him,
No, they didn't kill him.
which means they're coming back to do it again.
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
But he had some nice stuff,
Mhm.
and his mom said, I bought him that stuff. He wasn't out there doing X, Y, and Z to get it. Now, truth, don't know. But school made a decision.
Moms have been known to be biased when it comes to describing their children.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I see the school's point. You know, they didn't kill him, which normally means they're coming again. And they didn't mind getting him outside the school. So I you know.
And they might be patient. 'Cause this happened a few months ago. He had to go through rehab, learn how to walk all over again.
And they'll wait
He's
for
back
him.
on his feet. And
They'll wait.
Yeah, I don't.
They'll wait.
Yeah.
They will. You know, I know guys.
Yeah.
They're
They'll-
patient.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right now, there's too much attention on him. They're gonna wait till that dies down a little bit.
Yeah.
So I get the school's caution. Let's go to the phones. We've got Tom. Oh, both our Florida callers on there. Get Tom and Danny. Let's go to Tom. Good morning, Tom. How you doing, man?
Good morning, Bishop. How you doing, Pastor Nick?
Hey, man. How you doing?
What's your comment
Pastor
today,
Nick,
man?
not that I ever would want to correct you, but it wasn't 3 times that people signed about death. It's 7 times.
Oh my
From
God.
what I saw, the guy that was on video said it was 3 times. That's the
Yeah,
one I
yeah,
saw.
I was
He
looking
was
this
going through
morning.
it.
That's still crazy. But
One time.
you're talking about
One
people,
time's enough.
One time says you may die on this trip.
But James Cameron, the guy from the Titanic, said he's been screaming for the last 2 years that this thing is going. It wasn't like this was hidden. He was saying something's going to go wrong, and they had him on yesterday, and you know he kind of predicted exactly what happened, and it described when you talk about the pressure. So the pressure is like taking the Empire State Building, filling it full of lead, and then dropping it on you.
Wow.
That's what it's like.
Wow.
Yeah. And the crazy thing is they bolted it from the outside. So even if it rose back up to the surface, if they couldn't find it, it would eventually die from a lack of oxygen because there's no way to open it.
They can't open it.
From the inside.
Yeah, they would die from asphyxiation, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, something else too, Bishop. You know, with the craziness of our folks down in Washington, Marjorie Taylor Greene called Bobbitt, I won't say the word,
They got
you
into
know
it.
what,
They got into it this week.
on the House floor.
She
Called her a little.
She called her a witch?
Yeah, with the other.
Yeah,
in front of
that
it, yeah.
rhyming word.
Yeah.
No.
They got into it. Both of them got into it this week.
And they don't like each other now. You know what it's over?
What over?
Bobbitt came up with this, we're going to impeach Biden, but Green is upset that she came up with it first, but McCarthy asked her to sit on it because want to wait. Well, now since Bobbitt comes up with it, it appears that she's going to outdo her. So this is all about, I did it first. No, I did it first.
So did
It's
Bobbitt?
crazy
So did Bobbitt use the expletive, or did Marjorie Taylor Greene do it?
Marjorie Taylor Greene
She
did.
called her.
Really?
Yeah.
You know, Psalm 55, I believe, says that God will divide the tongues of your enemies. That's what the book says. He'll divide their tongues.
Well,
wow.
It's coming to pass.
But I saw her basically, that Bobbitt woman. I saw her basically run from who's the young lady from Florida? Jasmine.
Oh, she lit into her.
Yeah, because so Bobbitt said what she had to say, and it was time.
got up and left the chamber.
And it was time for Jasmine, whatever her name is, to respond. Bobbitt got up and walked out of the room.
Yeah.
Because girlfriend is a lawyer as well as a senator.
Okay.
And she knows what she's talking about. She's all sister, but she's
Bishop, even the way she approached it,
Yeah.
like, wait a minute here.
Oh, she a sister. Okay.
oh, she's a sister, man. She all sister though.
Oh, yeah.
Jasmine Crockett.
Crockett. Okay.
Jasmine Crockett.
Yeah, but she had everything lined up.
Yeah, I think I don't even know how Bobbitt got elected. What Bobbitt is, Marjorie Taylor Greene is, in my opinion, a direct manifestation of the people that voted for him.
Yeah.
Those people that have those ideas and that approach to things and those kinds of arguments voted for her to represent them the way she's representing them. They're not surprising their constituency.
Yeah.
They're not surprising at all because they voted for them because they wanted someone to speak like they speak.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
I agree.
Voice, yep. That's why they like Trump.
Mm-hmm.
He was able to say the stuff they wanted to say.
Mm-hmm. But now it's not working for him.
Mm-hmm.
No, not at all. Bishop, one other thing. I saw the news last night and early this morning.
Mm-hmm.
Over across the pond in Russia, they're having some real
They've got a
problems
little
with
problem.
I just saw that this morning. What's going on?
So the militia guy that has been doing President Putin's business, their tongues have gotten divided.
Okay.
So the Pharisees and the Sadducees have now fallen out.
Okay.
And the guy is actually, Wagner's actually threatening Putin.
Okay.
He's a billionaire. He's got about 25,000 guys working for him over there. He's got the guys that are rough and tough. And he's been able to do things militaristically that the Russian army has not been able to do. And obviously he might have gotten a little full of himself. And now Putin, who used to think he had control of him, doesn't have control of him anymore.
And he said he's headed to Moscow this morning.
Is he going?
He said, and right now they were saying that they can't confirm because they can't get information out of Russia, but they were saying that roadblocks are not being put up, that Russian troops are not stopping him, and that there are tanks all over Moscow waiting to make sure nothing does come into the city.
So they believe he's like, as John Wayne would say, you must think I'm a real dangerous man.
Well, he's got 25,000 people, and he's the only, I mean, when he was working for Russia, he was the only guy doing anything against Ukraine.
But here's the other thing, too. I hear one of his offenses is that somehow the Russian army, I might be using the wrong terms, the Soviet army killed a couple hundred of his guys.
Yeah, that they not friendly fire either, but purposely launched some missiles into them.
Yeah, and so the guy's taking exception to him doing that.
Yeah.
And they're saying that he can finance his part of this rebellion.
Yeah.
He's in better position to do that than Putin is to finance his own war.
Wow.
And that money,
because his money's coming from Africa.
Okay.
Yes, from blood diamonds and blood gold.
Yeah. Minerals, all that other stuff.
Yeah, from Africa.
So he went over there to fight a war and got rich.
Yeah, exactly.
And built a conduit between him and the resources of Africa. So now he's rich on African wealth.
Yeah. Well, that's
like the rest of the world.
I was about to say for the rest of the world.
Like the rest of the world.
That ain't,
yeah.
I'm still amazed that there is not, as far as I know, and it still may be true. Tom, did you know there was not one auto manufacturer in the whole continent of Africa?
No, I didn't, but it amazes me with all the rich. We're not talking just gold and diamonds.
Everything.
Titanium.
Minerals,
copper.
you name it.
It's loaded. And the workforce, I mean, the average income in Ghana, I think, is like less than $2,000 a year.
Unbelievable.
So the point is, if you put a factory there, you could out Chinese the Chinese.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Amazing. How's things going for you down there, Tom? Your governor is making more waves.
making more waves, and I saw something you would like, and I like, about 10 buses this past week have written on the side, "This is the state where woke comes alive." And they're going throughout the state and talk about what woke really means, and that it doesn't come to Florida to die. It comes here to flourish.
Oh, the people are fighting back.
They're fighting back?
Yeah.
That's one of the other things why people are moving to these other states.
Okay.
They're moving money for economic reasons, but also they're moving down there to start changing some of these votes too. So you've seen a lot of young people move down to Texas, to all these places. So now their voting power will start to grow.
Yeah, but that's years and years away.
Yeah, but they're building towards almost like how the Republicans are long-term planning.
Yeah, but you know what? I get that. I think it's noble. But to me, when I look at the political landscape of America, we don't have a lot of time. We need long-term solutions, but we don't have a lot of time to react in ways that are going to make change. Too many people are suffering, and I mean it's saddening to me, you know. Just we're in a culture war, and a lot of us are not willing to accept the fact that we're not going forward. We're going backward on this thing. You watch hostility, man. How do you decide that you're just going to walk up to somebody in a fast food restaurant and just go off? Why are people misbehaving on planes like never before? I mean, what?
I think this is oversimplifying it. But Trump has allowed people to act out like a little child.
But it's not even just Trump people.
It's acceptable.
Not even just Trump. You just people with just in general sometimes.
I'm watching Christians make spiritual decisions that are absolutely, and say spiritual things that are absolutely evidence of immaturity. So why is it that the immature Christians see themselves as strong Christians? That's the way they feel. Okay.
I think because we put certain brands of Christianity, especially charismatic Pentecostals, which we do all that stuff. I'm not knocking that movement. We've put spiritual maturity in how well you can praise, worship, and stuff like that.
Yes.
At the absence of love and character.
Okay.
So I'm not knocking praise and worship.
I agree with you.
Those are signs of it.
I agree with you 100%.
But when Jesus says the world will know you, it's by love, not how great you pray, not how great you worship.
So spirit and truth is not a style.
No.
Spirit and truth is a condition of the heart.
Yes.
Okay.
I worship in how I live and do all this stuff in church too.
But for a lot of us Pentecostals, the perfecting the act of looking worshipful is enough.
Yes. And you came from Kojic.
Right.
So speaking in tongues meant spiritually mature.
It doesn't.
Right. But that's how a lot of people
especially since if you look at it, it's the baby gift of the Spirit. It's the infant's gift. It's the thing that happened at the beginning of the salvation. It's not something that maturity is signaled. It is not. Yeah. It's a baby gift.
Yeah. I had somebody argue with me that everybody speaks in tongues, and I disagree with the person. And when the conversation's over, she cussed me out. It's like, I'm like, if you that mature because you speak in tongues, why are you getting? Because it was me in between somebody that didn't believe in tongues, somebody that believed everybody speaks in tongues. Right. Three of us having a conversation.
Okay.
The one that went off was the one that said, speaking in tongues.
Well, she was speaking in tongues.
And we're looking like, are you serious?
She was speaking in tongues.
She was speaking in tongues.
She's proving it.
She's proving it.
Tom, we got to let you go, man.
You guys have a great day.
All right, talk to you. Good morning, Danny. How you doing?
Good morning, Bishop, Pastor Nick. How are you all doing today and staff?
Oh, we're trying hard.
Hey, Greg.
Well, I said that I would not ask you about the weather, but I got to bring it up.
Okay.
And part of the things that's going on within the world. Two things. But the first thing I want to ask, what is the purpose of a debate?
The purpose of it? I think the modern day purpose of a debate is to get, as we used to say, what you want to say on the table. I don't think a debate is about conclusions. Right. I don't think it's about progress. It's simply an argument called a debate.
Why is it that a certain group of people when they have a debate, you have to sign a paper that in order to participate, that by chance, if you do not win, you have to sign that you agree to back somebody that you disagree with.
Why are you being so surreptitious this morning, Danny? I think it's ridiculous. I understand. Now, see what happened was they opened the door with you need to have 40,000 real donors, so they could separate the people that just had an idea from people who actually thought they could win. And then they put another rule. But after they put that rule in and it got them to accept that, they put in you won't criticize if you don't win this thing. You won't criticize who does win. So if I want to get on the platform, I've got to agree to that.
Yeah.
But it's not a legal document.
Yeah. It's more money and power.
But here's the thing: when the newscasters or the news interviewers, whatever, ask those that are participating a question about you know who, they will not say anything about that person.
Who we talking about? Voldemort
all of them.
We're talking about Voldemort from
Harry Potter.
From Harry Potter. Is that who we're talking about? He who must not be named.
Right.
What are you doing, Danny?
They will not say a word. They will not say a word. And I started thinking about that. This whole setup, it's who's going to be vice president, who's going to be on the ticket.
There's some people that think that, but the reality is that the Republicans are doing everything they can to chase people away from their party. And they've made a huge error on trying to tell ladies what to do with their bodies. They've made a huge miscalculation. And we're all pro-life here. We don't have any doubt about it. But here's the problem I have. I don't know why I was thinking of this morning. We're Christians, but we're not Christians that believe that you have to believe what we believe. Where does freedom of religion come in? So I'm going to force my belief. We're not an Islamic country. We're not Turkish. We're not where the faith is the government. That's not who we are as a nation. So once again, the party of small government is trying to mandate what you believe and what you think. It doesn't make any sense to me.
Not at all.
And then criticizing people, say, no, you're allowed to do what you want to do. This is America. This is what the Constitution calls for.
Yeah.
Where'd they lose it?
I think they said they were looking at this back in the 80s, Reagan.
Yeah.
With him and what's the guy? Falwell? Is it Falwell?
Yeah, Falwell.
When all of them, when their religious right and all that was created.
Yeah.
Based off money and power. I mean, the whole abortion thing was not about abortion.
It wasn't about abortion.
All the
it was about discrimination.
Yeah, all that stuff.
Segregation.
All that stuff blended in.
Yeah.
They found a new way to present it without being.
One of the ways they presented it was Christian schools.
Yep.
Because the Christian school was not birthed because they wanted everybody to come get educated. The Christian school was birthed because they only wanted white Christian kids to go to schools and didn't want anybody else coming in, and it was a legal way to discriminate against.
Yep.
But then they started having to add 3 or 4 because they didn't want to look overt. But the bottom line on it had nothing to do with abortion.
Yep.
Had everything to do with we don't want our kids going to school with these kids, so let's form a Christian school.
Yep. And then they shifted to a type of homeschooling that was more controlling. You know what's crazy about this? You remember the Duggards, that big 19?
Yeah.
They went one of those churches that Indiana we went to. The guy who created that whole huge movement of purity culture and homeschooling, the guy was never married, never had kids, but was teaching everybody else about how to have this perfect nuclear family. This story is deep. It is deep.
But it's not an uncommon principle in the body of Christ. You got guys in seminary who pastored for 30 years, had 75 members, teaching seminary students about church growth.
Yep.
What the heck do you know about growth if you couldn't do more than 75 people in 30 years?
Yeah.
Your flock just stopped producing? What's them that can't teach? Is that what it says? Yeah. Go ahead, man.
Okay, Bishop Pastor Nick, I just want you to comment on this. Something I was thinking about. Things that's happening in the world. And when you really look at it, we have temperatures all over that's going against what was said. There's no such thing as
global warming.
Right.
Climate change.
Here, when you look at, they put the variance in there, like what we have, they'll say 98 degrees, but it feels like 111.
Yeah.
All right? You see tornadoes going everywhere, places where they don't have tornadoes. And now, I look out west, they have what they call locusts.
Yep.
That's taking over cities.
Did you see that news?
Over.
The locust.
Yeah, it took over the city in Arizona or Colorado somewhere.
Yes.
I saw the spider thing.
No, man, locusts, man. When I say there's an invasion, they can't walk down the street without crunching.
Really?
Right.
Oh man, they
can't breathe.
It causing accidents because there's so many on the road that the bug juice is making the road slick.
Jeez.
It looks like a biblical invasion.
Dang.
It looks like a biblical invasion.
Yo, that I had to wear a jacket. This week? I never wear jackets in June.
Well, yeah, you do. Now you do.
I'm like, it was chilly.
Now you do.
So South is having an excessive heat wave. We had a little chill, and now it's back to being super humid. I mean,
look, this whole climate resistance is about money.
Yeah.
It boils down to money, Danny. It boils down to money, Pastor Nick. Yeah. It's about money, because the fact of the matter is you don't even have to go to school to go out your back door and realize how it used to be 30 years ago in April, May, and June is no longer how it is now.
Yep.
You don't have to be a meteorologist to make that assessment. People that go out their front doors every day to see, okay, I need an umbrella.
Yep.
Those are the same people that can testify in Florida that they're having weather they never had before. Up here, did we have winter last winter?
Barely. It hasn't rained this much in June in a long time.
Man, come on.
Wow.
Come on, man.
And Danny, they say those big snails, African snails, are back in Florida again.
Taking over.
Yeah.
I actually went out in the backyard and I saw a couple of them, and they're huge.
Are they big, Danny?
Huge.
Like what? The size of your shoe?
Not that, about half the size.
A snail crawling around the yard, half the size of your shoe.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. And it was hailing in Colorado at a concert.
I saw people running and screaming.
Yeah, the girl back was all red. They showed it because all the hail hitting her. I was like, golly. Yo, something's going on.
Doc, you don't have to go to school to realize it's not the same.
Yep.
It's not the same.
It's not.
Florida's experiencing our weather, and we're experiencing Florida's weather.
Yeah, I know, right?
Come on, man. But the locust thing, man, you got to see that.
I just looked it up. The caterpillars.
Yeah, no, not caterpillars. Locusts.
But this one says caterpillars. Okay.
No, ain't no caterpillar. I know what a caterpillar look like. These things are hopping around.
Okay.
They're locusts.
Okay.
Big brown grasshoppers.
Okay. You can't walk.
Like
can't drive.
Biblical grasshoppers.
Yeah.
How's my sister doing, man?
Blessed.
Okay.
And highly favored.
I understand. Tell her I'm praying for her as always.
All right. Fascinating.
Talk to you, man.
Later.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right.
Scott from Vineland. Hey, Scott, how you doing?
Bishop Evans, Pastor Nick, what's happening?
Hey, Scott.
Going on, man?
Nothing much. Sorry for calling so late. I was telling the young lady answered the phone. I'm working overtime at the hockey arena. I'm like, gotta call my...
Overtime's good, brother.
Yes, sir. Take Nye down to Wildwood next week, and before she has her surgery. So trying to do a little bit of stuff. You know, you guys know how that
Gotta
is.
work, man. Gotta work. You gotta work.
Yes, sir. Well, it says in the good book. I don't want to preach, but if you don't work, you don't eat.
That's right.
But I'm going to leave the preaching to y'all too. Quick, if I may, but politics. Bishop or Pastor Nick, of course, this Kennedy guy who's running the Democrat. I didn't know there was any Kennedy still left. Was he a mayor or governor or something? What's his background? Either one of you guys know?
I'm not sure if he's ever held office.
I don't think so either.
He just held a name.
He's Robert Kennedy's son.
That's all.
Okay.
That's all.
Wow. And I thought it was going to be some kind of competition, but it sounds like it's not.
He's a bit of a strange person. But he's got that historic name, and I guess that he thinks that qualifies him to run, but it doesn't, and it won't.
Okay.
It won't. But he's fringe enough that he's going to pick up some fringe folk, and it may just be something as simple as he wants the party to recognize him, and he wants to be heard, and they need to give him the traditional incentive of some type of position, so he'll sit down somewhere in a corner and be quiet.
Yeah. Yeah.
I like that. One last thing. Of course, it seems like the Republicans have a whole bunch of people running. Why don't the Democrats? It seems like it's
they've decided who they want, and they know. They talk about how old Joe Biden is, as if Trump is some kind of millennial. He's old too.
Right.
Yes. Last time I checked.
And watch this. And watch this. If you're looking at seniors, and I needed somebody to run up a flight of stairs, I'd pick Biden before I'd pick Trump.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. That man moves. Heck, he moves better than me. I'll admit that.
And he's not wearing. And Biden's not wearing Depends, as far as I can see.
No. Yeah, I don't understand
Does
that.
His brain still work?
His brain's working.
I don't need the president to run a 100-mile dash.
No.
Does your brain work?
Does the brain work?
Absolutely. I like that, Pastor Nick.
Look.
God bless you. Peace. I'm out.
I see, man. One of the greatest presidents the nation's ever had did it in a wheelchair.
Thank you.
One of the greatest presidents the nation has ever had.
In a wheelchair. Plain and simple.
Was disabled.
Mm-hmm. I'm just.
Come on.
Does that still work?
Well, with our former president, that's not working too good.
I know, that's true.
All right, so
it's true.
We got off the rails a little bit this morning.
Right.
So tomorrow, as always, we want to invite all of you to join us here at the Plaza. We have our 8 a.m. services virtual, of course. Our 11 a.m. is live. You don't want to miss what God is doing in our midst through worship, praise, and the Word. The Spirit of God is moving. God is taking us to a very unusual place, and you want to be a part of what the Lord is doing. We're no longer requiring a COVID vaccination to attend service, but we are going to ask you to continue the social distance. We have room in here to do it. I think we're going to have to start using the balcony soon, Pastor Nick. But you can come, have a great time in the Lord. We're wearing our N95, so we're just trying to keep one another safe, and we're caring for one another like the Bible tells us to do. Our midweek services is our noonday Bible study on Wednesday and our Word Impact Bible study, 7 o'clock on Wednesday night. If you desire to get some news updates about Bethany, you can do that. You can text BBC News to 28950. That's BBC News to 28950. And if you want to get some spiritual messages during the week, you text BBC Elevate to 28950. We'd love to pray with you. Send all your prayer requests to social at go2bethany.com, go2bethany.com if you want us to pray with you about anything. We'd love for you to subscribe to David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ. That's David G. Evans 1 and BBC of NJ on YouTube. But also our podcast, DGEMS, DGEMS, and of course On Point that you've been sharing with us today. Those are our podcast platforms. We want to remind you that in July, I want you to keep your ears open. We're going to have a home buyers event here at the church. You will be able to come to church on that Sunday. We'll give you more information. And by the time you leave, if you do the stuff we tell you to do ahead of time, you'll have a pre-approval for a mortgage before you leave the house. So we'll give you more information. First-time home buyers, we're going to have some grants for you to help you with down payments and those type of things. In certain counties, so your zip code is going to be imperative. But if you have any interest in owning a home, we're going to have a get a house, get a home event in July, late July, 3rd or 4th Sunday. Going to have it on Sunday, so it's convenient for you, and you'll be able to come and have an approval before you leave the place on that particular day. So we're looking forward to it. We're going to have a great time. We're going to watch people. We're going to celebrate maybe 33 years of ministry, and we've got some guests coming in, and the prophet's coming, Amutang, and I believe Jamal's coming. So we're going to have a good time on that particular Sunday.
Yeah.
Just keep your eyes open, keep your ears open, and we'll be glad to keep you informed. Now, for Pastor Nicholas Smith, I'm Bishop David G. Evans. We have an open house today. Yep. Our media and our creative finance are having an open house today at 11 a.m. If you have any interest at all in being a part of that, come find out so you'll know what it is you're interested in. Pique your interest, meet the people involved in these ministries. And we want you to come out and become a part of what we do here that God is blessing. Now remember, for Pastor Nicholas Smith, I'm David G. Evans. And remember, faith acts like a thing is so, even when it's not so. That it might be so. God bless you. See you next time on Point.